On April 8, 2026, the Shape the Cape Summit brought together a diverse and passionate community at the 204 Cultural Arts Building in Harwich. Hosted by Cape Cod young professionals, with support from Siemens Bank, the summit was a full day dedicated to learning, connection, and shaping the future of Cape Cod.
CCYP holds the Shape the Cape Summit to bring everyone together. It's very rare that we're able to bring people from across industries, across walks of life, together in one space to address the challenges that life throws our way here on Cape Cod.
Designed for anyone who lives or works on the Cape, the event welcomed voices from every generation, uniting those invested in building a stronger, more vibrant community. With more than 70 speakers, many taking the mic for the very first time, the summit became a true launchpad for new voices. It created space for fresh ideas, honest conversations, and perspectives that don't always make it to the main stage, alongside the voices we've come to know and trust. Throughout the day, attendees explored a wide range of breakout sessions that tackled real, timely questions. Conversations like, is college worth it, and how to enter the housing market, offered practical insight, while other sessions, such as what do you wish you knew at 25, encouraged reflection and shared experience. Others, including discussions on Cape-produced media, highlighted the creativity and storytelling rooted right here in the region. Between sessions, the hallways and gathering spaces buzzed with connection. People networking, exchanging ideas, and building relationships that will extend far beyond this single day.
I think it's important to attend events such as the Shape the Cape Summit for a number of reasons. One is you're going to see people that you don't see on a day-to-day basis, and so you have those meaningful in-person conversations. You also have the opportunity to chat with people you've never met before to help address the challenges that are facing day-to-day Cape Codders.
People of all ages showed up, including local high school students, who brought an essential and forward-looking question to the forefront. What do young people need here on the Cape? Their voices added urgency and clarity, reminding everyone why this work matters.
I'm at the Shape the Cape Summit because I do an internship through my school, and it's for the business pathway, so we were encouraged to come out today and engage in the networking event because it's really great to make connections for us since we are in the business pathway, and then we get to meet new people who are also kind of experiencing the same thing and who are going to be us in a few years, and getting to sit in on the workshops and hear advice from other business people on Cape Cod is really great.
More than just an event, the Shape the Cape Summit was a space for dialogue, inspiration, and action. It was a reminder that the future of Cape Cod is something we shape together, through conversation, collaboration, and the courage to step up and be heard.
Bass River separates the towns of Yarmouth and Dennis. It's the longest river estuary on Cape Cod. It's 7.1 miles long, but it is the natural border for the two towns. Friends of Bass River was started by 3 lifelong residents of the Bass River area to oversee the health of Bass River, because Bass River is quite ill, actually. It needs a 48% reduction in nitrogen for the majority of the river, and from here north, it needs a 70% reduction in nitrogen, so it's quite ill. It's so ill, in fact, to the north of this area, Mass Division of Marine Fisheries designated it as prohibited for shellfishing and fishing. So it's a very important project we're working on. The main project we've worked on since 2020, when I joined the organization, has been the Upper Bass River Headwaters Restoration, which is this area right here. We have about $9.66 million in hand to complete an $11 million restoration. 57.2 acres of retired cranberry bogs, dramatically undersized culverts, and those two projects are going to total about $11 million and will make a dramatic improvement in the water quality. When I was young, this Crab Creek area was about 18 feet wide, and the last time I measured it, it was 64 feet wide. So because of the velocity of water coming through, we have a lot of erosion and undercut. Trees are falling into the creek, so we'll solve that problem with a 60-foot wide bridge, which will solve the velocity problems. It will allow a lot more water to get up into Mill Pond, the most impaired portion of the river, and allow water to get out of Mill Pond. So it'll make it much more healthy. So permitting is underway. I suspect that later next year, we will have the shovels in the ground and they'll begin the project. So I'm very excited about that. We have one of our other non-restoration projects, but it's equally important, is we have a base scallop aquaculture project that's in our second year. We partnered with the town of Yarmouth, and this year we partnered with the town of Dennis as well. We put 100,000 base scallops in Bass River after we rolled them out at Packet Landing. Another 100,000 this year, and we plan on 200,000 next year. Base scalloping was always a really bountiful activity for the community. As far back as 1983, I scalloped with my dad in Bass River, and we would get our limit in 2 drags. There are virtually no scallops there anymore, so we're going to reestablish that, which I'm very excited about. One of the first projects we initiated in 2020 was a water testing program for the entire river. We have 7 locations on Bass River, starting at Mill Pond and going all the way out to the West Ennis Beach. It's staffed by volunteer water testing team members, and they begin in May, and they test water right through September. And it's critical for us to understand what's happening with the overall health of Bass River. We've been watching the overall condition of the Bass River Route 28 bridge for at least 5 years now, and it is in dire condition. MassDOT and the AA Wool Company have just begun reconstruction this month of November. It's going to be a long project, but it's critically important. I understand from inspectors last summer that they were only this far from condemning the entire bridge, which would have been really horrible for the communities of Yarmouth and Dennis and a good portion of the Cape. So the beginning construction, what they informed us at our symposium 2 weeks ago was that this project would continue into 2031. The amount of impact from that for all of us is pretty significant. The new bridge construction and the new bridge design has about 60% fewer pilings holding the bridge up. By removing them, we'll have greater volume of water be able to flow from the south to the north. So it will overall improve the water quality of the river. I like to think of the Friends of Bass River as the voice of Bass River, because we're there overlooking its health every day. There are so many areas that we can help improve the water quality for Bass River. That's what we work on. I consider Bass River to be the crown jewel of the town of Yarmouth. And so many people rely on it for recreation, for income, for just the beauty of it, the views from their homes. And it was definitely going downhill because of all the nitrogen that would come from individual homes, septic systems. It creates a lot of really dramatic algae blooms that block the watershed. They also they smell. So it's a very significantly important project for us to undertake, because we're protecting the future of Bass River for the next generations.
This bend in the road here on 6A in Dennis has been the home to some type of market since the turn of the 20th century, beginning in 1907 as a five and dime. Over time, the building on 653 Main Street may have changed owners as well as shape and size, as evidenced by this photo from somewhere around 1953. But the mission has always been the same.
This store, Dennis Public Market, is a community market. It's not a convenience store, we do the best being a full grocery store, but we're a community family market.
It should go without saying that the location of this public market is terrific. The unique glassed-in, two-sided ramped entryway certainly helps it stand out. And with a look at the amount of stock on the shelves, it seems like an above and beyond one-stop shop for summertime vacationers who may be renting a place near Mayflower or Corporation Beach just up the road. Of course, they're not the only priority for this store.
A big part of our business is the summer business and taking care of those people who are here for a weekend, a week, a month. But our main goal is to take care of our regular customer who's here year-round, who takes care of us year-round. That's who we have to really worry about and make sure we're here for them as much as they're here for us.
For some people, this place has the nostalgia of being the store they came to with their grandfather as a 5-year-old on their first Cape Cod vacation. For others, it's the neighborhood market. Either way, it's been here longer than most people can remember, yet somehow this store has managed to stay open year-round the entire time.
It's more than just sentimentality that keeps the lights on here for a full calendar year every year. Like almost any other storefront at Cape Cod, the Dennis Public Market is not immune to the financial peaks and valleys of running a business in a place that most of the rest of the world thinks of as a vacation spot.
We say going into January and February, it's hibernation mode. So basically, you take your big months, your summer months, stuff like that, when people think that this place is a gold mine, you got a few months to save up for the rest of them. So it's like you got 4 months to save up for the next 8. You know, and you still have vendors who want to get paid, you have all that stuff. You got to make sure you have the funds to take care of them because they have to take care of us.
The primary economic driver for the market is unquestionably the deli, and that applies to all 4 seasons. Not to be forgotten is their output of baked goods, as we were able to witness the mass production of their chicken pot pies during our visit. Then, of course, there is the intangible quality that keeps the locals coming back, and that's familiarity with the people who work here.
I started here when I was 14 years old, so it's been a long journey with me here, and a lot of my co-workers here, we've been here just as long. Chris in the deli, who manages the deli department, he started here, I believe, 1992. So I started here in 1990. So yeah, it's been a long journey.
From behind the glass cases of the deli, Chris Crowell enjoys some star status. And judging by the fact that this was the first deli on Cape Cod to ever receive the Boar's Head Market of Distinction Award for quality, service, and community, it's a safe bet that his status is well earned. But to talk to him, it's just another day at the office doing a job that he loves.
This is my heart and soul. That's who I am. You know, I grew up working in a deli when I was 18, and I just came into this, good guns blazing, So, I mean, I've just kept it, made a living out of it. I don't know, I love this store. This store is home to me.
And when the lunch rush rolls in, it's all hands on deck. And this includes not only making sandwich orders, but slicing deli meats, grinding fresh hamburger meat, and putting together roasts for the display case. It also includes help from his son, David. But no matter who's back there, Kroll knows he's always got a strong supporting cast.
Our staff, from every one of these people that work in this building are hard-working people. They're just regular people, but they give a lot more than that. They give a little heart and soul to everything.
That heart and soul may very well be the reason that this one-time five and dime from 1907 still stands strong to this day as a 7-day-a-week community market.
The most important impression is the impression walking out the door. Not necessarily walking in the door, but it's how you're treated while you're in the store and the impression that you leave with.
Cape Media Center, building community through media.
From the parking lot outside of the science building at Cape Cod Community College, we can see the sign directing students toward the Marine Tech program on the lower level. With a program developed by the college, 4Cs has teamed up with Yamaha Marine University for manufacturer certification. The need for this class and getting more engine techs out in the field, specifically on the Cape, was a classic case of supply and demand.
Because of the increase in the number of outboards that are actually on boats right now, and because of the horsepower increases, there are less and less boats that have, say, for example, stern drive, and they now have outboard power, whether it be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outboards on them.
What we're seeing is the entry-level course in the Marine Tech career path taught by Yamaha Marine University that, in most other situations, would have required some traveling for the students to attend.
Normally it's a 2-week all-inclusive course, so they would have to, if the student wanted to participate in that, they would have to go down to Yamaha in Kennesaw, Georgia, or pay for a hotel. So somebody would have to sponsor them. It would have to be a dealer. They'd have to pay for a hotel, pay for meals and everything like that, rental cars, airfare.
Hosting the course here at Cape Cod Community College allows the students, many of whom are career changers, to continue to do their day jobs.
We do it in 10 weeks, 3 nights a week, 100 hours, and students can come here for the tuition, and it circumvents that whole process and makes it a lot easier for them to become a technician and start on the career path.
Students in the program also earn OSHA 10 safety certification, hoisting licenses, and foundational electrical training, which not only puts them in a great job placement position, but also leaves the door wide open for them to continue to advance in this field.
Once they do that and take this course, they skip that 2-week course, and then they can go on to what they call a service maintenance technician and go all the way up to a master technician, which usually takes about 5 years for a technician to get. But if you're a master technician with Yamaha, you are making a handsome salary.
Ainsworth himself is a true student's teacher. With decades of experience as a tech school instructor, combined with nearly as much time in this field, it's difficult for him not to still have fun instructing while seeing the hard work come to fruition for the students.
It's something I've always done and always enjoyed doing, and it's very gratifying seeing somebody go to work for a dealer in the area in this industry, which, you know, I really love the industry too.
Barnstable Comedy Club is a local community theater in Barnstable Village, and we do 4 shows per year, which each show has 10 production dates. We do comedies, we do musicals, we do drama type productions.
The Comedy Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our goal is to get the community together and volunteer together, work together, and just be a place where people can learn more about the theater. And if they already know about the theater, it gives them an opportunity to act and sing and do all the things that they've always wanted to do.
The building was built in 1912, but the Comedy Club actually started in 1922, so we have been around for 104 seasons. My dad was the president here back in the 60s. It has some downtime during its 104 years in existence. During World War II, it was dark, and also during COVID, it was dark. But it's been in the community here for that long, and the villagers themselves had put their heart and soul into this organization. I think that's why it exists so long. They're not paid. They just do it for the love, because of the love of the theater, is what I think.
This village is magical. Barnstable Village, everybody will tell you that. That's from the village. And I think that they're always looking for a place to get together, and they see their friends, and, and they just, it's the magic of the village.
The volunteers are the most important part of this club. Without them, we would not be here. We are 100% volunteer. We rely on
anybody, and whether they're local, whether they're off Cape, whether they're friends or cousins or whatever, we rely on everybody to make this place run. They are the key to our success. You can go to our website, barnstablecomedyclub.org. You can, see what type of opportunities we have. Give us a phone call. We'll make sure somebody calls you back. Come to one of our shows. We've got so many of them, and meet some of the people that are here. And once we get your name and your phone number or your email address, consider yourself a volunteer. We will find something for you to do. I think that theater is a really important outlet for people because it's not work. It's something where people can play, if you will, and it gives them an opportunity it's supposed to be healthy for your soul. I mean, granted, it can be very stressful putting on a play, but I think it's just a way to help your soul.
I know we've been around for 104 years, but even still, people in the village somehow don't know we're here because we're called the Barnstable Comedy Club, but we're not just a comedy club, we're a community theater, and we do all kinds of plays.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Kristen Andres, and I am the current president of Friends of Chatham Waterways. Friends of Chatham Waterways is a nonprofit on an all-volunteer board. We were organized way back when in 1983. It's a grassroots effort to protect Chatham's natural resources, in particular protection of our fresh and salt waterways, as well as the adjoining uplands. We have several programs, and primarily we engage volunteers. So we have a coastal water watchers program that was started back in 1998 when the town of Chatham needed to collect some water samples. About 150 volunteers were organized and trained to do water sampling from boats out in our coastal estuaries. And that monitoring continues on today, and we organize volunteers each year, and they're trained and they go out and sample. So we have a very robust data set, so it's really important to the town. We also have a pond monitoring program where our volunteers go out every 2 weeks and sample 5 of our ponds relative to potentially toxic cyanobacteria blooms. We collaborate with the town on most all of our projects, and the cyanobacteria monitoring program is in collaboration with the town and the Association of Preserved Cape Cod. We also, each September, we participate in Coast Sweep, which is an international program with Coastal Zone Management, where volunteers go out and pick up trash and debris on our shorelines, our coastal shorelines, and then they provide that information and sent off to Coastal Zone Management, who maintains that data. Volunteers generally work with us in the summer. It's not a huge time commitment on the water sampling. The ponds get sampled every 2 weeks, and if you're a water watcher out on the coastal embayments, there's designated days in the summer that everybody goes out and does the sampling on the same day. So it's not a huge lift, but it's a great way to be out on the water and to work with other volunteers. There are other opportunities for volunteers. There are things sometimes where we've got events happening or other projects underway, and so we're always happy to engage whoever is interested to be more involved with the work that we do. Anybody who's interested in volunteering can go to our website at chathamwaterways.org, and there is a support button, and you can certainly join us as a member by giving a donation, and you can sign up to be a volunteer. We've had several exciting things that we undertook this past year, which is a big lift for an all-volunteer organization. In April, we rolled out our Water Pledge campaign during Earth Week. Our Chatham Water Pledge is an effort to bring awareness to how precious our water resource is And so we are trying to engage folks to take the pledge, which means to skip the fertilizers, avoid pesticides, conserve water, and embrace Cape-friendly lawn, which is a Cape Cod lawn, which most of us who've lived here a long time still have. We have been having table events and trying to get that message out in many different ways. We have well over 100 properties as of August of this year, of 2025, who have taken the pledge and who we then give a sign to, and they can post the sign in the front of their yard and show that they're supporting those efforts to conserve our water and protect its water quality. Two programs that we've had for many years now. One has been our grant program to the schools, the Barbara Stribert Environmental Grant Program, where we give dollars to teachers for programs that they want to do with their students. Often they are field trips, so we help pay for transportation or materials. And it's really just a way to ensure that students have that opportunity in the middle school and high school to get out into the environment. We also have a very robust scholarship program where we give dollars each year to undergraduate and graduate students who are studying in the environmental field. So we really feel strongly about educating our next conservationists. The purpose of FCW is to fill that gap between town government and what needs to be done to really help protect our natural resources. There is no way that the town could have afforded to have paid for somebody to do all this water sampling, and so our volunteers really fill that niche. And also the other gap is that the town doesn't have a lot of resources for education and outreach, and so we try to fulfill that for the community, and we try to provide educational events and information to the citizens and advocate when necessary.
Hey, I'm Kayla. I was an intern at Cape Media Center back in 2019, and that experience totally launched my career in media.
And I'm Destiny. I was right there with Kayla in 2019, learning everything from camera work to editing and loving every second of it.
The staff here at Cape Media Center were always hands-on and always willing to answer our questions, especially with our final project.
We created a series of videos called the Blue Economy Project, where we dove deeper into how the ocean plays a vital role in Cape Cod's economy.
The series was well approved, and we couldn't have done it without the Cape Media Center.
Fast forward to now, I'm working in live music production and have even worked at venues such as Gillette Stadium and Fenway Park.
And I actually came full circle. I'm back at the Cape Media Center, this time on staff.
Cape Media Center gave us the tools, the confidence, and the real-world experience to chase our creative goals.
It's more than just a media center, it's a launch pad for your future.
Start your story at Cape Media Center in Dennisport.
Cape Media Center, your voice, your vision, your community.